Hey guys, it's Missy with Urban Dog. So I want to answer a question for you guys tonight that every groomer gets the call on: how much do you cost? That's the first question, only question. And this is a two-part question. Because first, what we price ourselves on should be valued on what education we have, what training, and what we can offer your pet. A groomer who is discounting and lowering her price, there's a reason. They say they want to offer you a good deal. That's not true. You can't do that if you are paying all the insurances out there that you need. You're protecting the pet, paying for your equipment to get sharpened, paying for good quality equipment, upgrading your skills regularly, because those courses aren't cheap, and also paying to be certified. These are all expensive items. So when people call and say, well, Lily down the road is $40 cheaper, why is that? When she's $40 cheaper, you guys have to start thinking, why is she cheaper? I know myself, I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars educating myself, not only in grooming, but behavior. Because the fact that I could do a clip on your dog means nothing if your dog's jumping around and I'm anxious and I don't know how to control your pet. So the biggest thing is, I don't want to use restraints and force your dog to stay still. I want to know how they're thinking, what behaviors they're showing me, so I can work with them. Because sometimes it can be simply as, maybe they have arthritis, maybe they've got some joint pain, maybe their toenails are too long and they're curving, and so the dog doesn't want to stand still or doesn't want you touching their feet, and because they've got joint pain. So instead of me saying, oh, you're a terrible dog, because I've educated myself, I understand to look at the whole picture and decipher from there how I'm going to work with your dog. $40 down the road dog groomer? May not. They just may say, slap a muzzle on that dog, it's a bad dog. You're getting a shave down. I don't know. My other question is, I keep reading about show clips. People do pet clips, not show clips. A show clip? I am trained in them, but I don't do them. I modify them to the dog. So I do pet clips, but all these groomers are posting how they're better, they don't need to put the dog through torture to get a show clip, that's why they can be cheaper. That's bull. Because what we're trained as a certified groomer who's gone through the education is how to take a dog that isn't in good form and make them look nice. So if we've got an overweight dog, we're not going to shave the legs down bald. It looks ridiculous. You try to make the dog look its best. It's not a show clip. It's simply working with what you've got with the animal. So that adds to the price too. It's all about education and what we've got. It drives me nuts when I hear myself trying to be compared to someone who learned on YouTube. I'm sorry, but YouTube is not a form of learning how to groom a dog. You can look at it and guess, groom your own dog. But putting yourself out there and grooming other people's pets puts your liability or danger. Not every dog acts the same. I know myself. I've seen thousands of dogs come through my table, and there's a chance they don't stand still. They don't want me touching them because grooming typically, if the dog's not done regularly, it's a necessary evil. We need to do it to make sure their skin is nice and clean, their coat's clean. We find lumps, bumps on them. We assess the entire dog. We spend more time with that dog than a vet does, so we can come up with problems and let you know, so then you can take your dog to the vet. These are all important factors on why choosing a groomer that is educated and wants to continue learning rather than someone who learned on YouTube or learned 30 years ago. So what, she's been grooming 30 years. If she learned 30 years ago and hasn't upgraded her skills, or his, then what are they? That's like going to a doctor that's been practicing for 30 years and graduated, back in the 70s, 80s, hasn't done anything else. How much has medicine changed? It's the same. How much has grooming changed? So when you're looking at the price of a groomer, you should start looking at the whole picture on why they are the price they are. Because you are overlooking so many important factors by looking at just the price. This isn't Walmart. It's not the same quality. Just because even two people that are the same price, you should look at their education. Because they may not even be the same. You should do your research. There are so many pets that die in this industry that you may not even hear about because people aren't educated. They're throwing a dog that there's anxious, they're hog tying them. There's disgusting things that happens in this industry, and it can be prevented. The only way that you're going to get good groomers in the industry, people looking after your pet, is by supporting the ones who have the training and education. Because by not supporting us, the ones that put effort into what we do, then you're failing us, and you're going to be left with a bunch of scrap groomers who, they're cheap, but what training do they have? Are they using dirty tools? I have seen groomers come into my shop after who used one dirty brush on a bad dog who had terrible skin issues. They didn't wash, clean the brush after. Every dog they touched. Soon, next grooming appointment, they had the same rash all over them because they're not cleaning their equipment. For myself, between every single dog, I sterilize my truck. I sterilize every tool I use. Even between the dog from clipping its butt to its face, it gets sterilized because that is what you're supposed to do. That is what someone who is responsible and a professional certified groomer will do. Not even, there's other people that do it too, but that's what we are trained to do. That's what's ingrained. Workshops, all they talk about is cleanliness, hygiene, keeping disease down. All these things are so important, not just how's your dog look, what hair clip is going on with it. So I just want to put those out there for you guys. Pass this on. Feel free to share the info. I'm not ragging on discounted groomers that don't charge as much. Maybe they just don't, maybe they're good and they don't see their worth. But it's up to you also to show them that they're worth something. If they're a good groomer, they're paying and upgrading their skills, support them. Thanks guys.